And this is WHEELZ of FURY. We got Killer Karl. And today's episode, like the last one, I should say, is going to be completely different.
Yeah.
We won't talk about the usual. Raw, well, my quick recap. Raw was bad.
Yeah.
SmackDown was good.
Yeah.
Impact was, well, I accidentally deleted that, but I did see the ending.
Yeah. Impact wasn't too bad.
Match was awesome.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna talk about wrestlers, and we're back. Thank you, fuck you, bye. Fucking camera.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. Anyways, we're here to talk about wrestlers who have not received the WWF title, or wrestlers in general who didn't get a title in WWF at some point.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So, I guess we'll start off with one of the guys that should have had a title. Never had a title in WWF, WCW, maybe in AWA. Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
Big Boss Man Ray Traylor, a guy who basically had a lot of charisma. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The only titles he had at WWE were Hardcore and Tag Team Championships with Ken Shamrock. The only other thing that we're not going to mention are the novelty championships, like
Yeah.
Hardcore or the European $1 million belt or
The light heavyweight title.
or the light heavyweight title. So, and I think any others, I guess, cruiserweight and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Mainly it's the focus of the main three.
Yeah.
So, but Big Boss Man was pretty much, one of the enthusiastic wrestlers of the 90s. I mean, when he was Big Bubba Rogers, I never really watched him then. Never really paid much attention in WCW, but...
Yeah. Well, when WCW was the AWA, yes, he was Big Bubba Rogers, but then in the later part of the 90s, he was the Guardian. And then he went by his real name, Ray Traylor, and wrestled under that for a little while, and then joined the NWO, was with that group for a little while, and then he jumped back to WWE and was the Big Boss Man again, but it was more of a bad guy side to the Boss Man character, because when it was the early part of the 90s, when Boss Man was in WWE at the time, he was Mr. Law Enforcement, Mr. Keeping Peace in WWE and whatever. And when he came back to WWE, it was more of a
security guard.
Yeah. Security guard, bad guy type role, especially when you take into consideration the fact that he stole a poor man's dog and then cooked it up and fed it to him.
Or made fun of another guy's dead father.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he came in at a good time, though, because it was the Attitude Era. Obviously, he adapted to the character, upgraded it. There was an episode where he teased coming back as a face using his own theme, but
Yeah.
there once again, there's a guy who should have been WWF champion, WWF Intercontinental Champion. For some reason, that never happened. So he went to WCW, and basically, like, I never really saw WCW that much, so I never paid attention. So I don't know if he had a title. I thought maybe he had the United States title, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
So there's another guy, and it's unfortunately that he has passed away,
Yes.
because when I'm gonna find out, if he comes back, and he'll have another chance at getting a shot at the belt.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So
Yeah.
another guy who was tag team champions with Big Boss Man Ken Shamrock, and I never really understood why, because yeah, he's a mixed martial arts guy. He's been in UFC. He would do really well now, and it's kind of funny how you think, okay, you changed with the times. You got Brock Lesnar, who multiple time WWE champion and Universal champion. Still Universal champion, so
Yeah.
you have no idea how frustrating it is to know why you never gave Ken Shamrock a fight. He was, again, tag team champion. He was Intercontinental champion, but what about the WWE?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not sure what happened there. I just think that he could have had a good run with it.
Yeah. Could have. But
You could have faced, I don't know, Undertaker, matches with Undertaker,
yeah.
matches with Stone Cold Steve Austin, maybe The Rock, who knows? Well, he did feud with The Rock for the Intercontinental title, but
Yeah.
you know what? It's just a shame.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah. Well, next we go on to a guy that was a big man, really good big man, agile for a big man, had a sensational career, just not as far as WWE went. ECW was a television champion, was a tag team champion, and at one point even the heavyweight champion for ECW, and could have ended up potentially a champion in WWE. They just didn't seem to want to push him. The Beast from the East.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
You see, this is where I kind of shake my head. Again, the WWF are just fucking
And going, what the hell's wrong with you?
going over these guys who could have potential.
Yeah.
Bam Bam Bigelow was, your average wrestler. He was a big guy. He was also moved like a luchador, doing moonsaults, doing anything. And once again, you have this guy, you push him to the side. You give him an afterthought.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you got a guy that's 345 pounds and can easily go to the top rope and do a moonsault. Come on now.
Well, and then you pair him up with, fucking Doink the Clown and whoever else.
Yeah.
And again, with the times, I don't know, but you should have at least given him the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
At least. Because now it's too late. He died, and basically you just gave him nothing.
Yeah.
You had to have him go to WCW and ECW.
Yeah.
WCW, I'm not sure if he ever had a title. But definitely ECW, obviously, so just another wasted talented for what? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Ben's, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Next one on the hit list, so to speak. Another big man. It was agile for his size. Considerably bigger than Bigelow, but
yeah.
only made it to a standard of champion outside of WWE, and he just wasn't pushed far enough to make it as a big time champion, if you will.
Big Van Vader. Sorry.
I was just trying to. Oh, the Rocky Mountain Monster from Boulder, Colorado.
Yes.
Big Van Vader. Yeah.
I guess it was this. Oh, whatever. Yeah, and that's when I was a kid. I was probably seven or eight, and I remembered distinctly with my dad watching something, turning the channels, whatever, and we stopped on WCW. Obviously, I'm a WWF guy.
Yes.
But I saw British Bulldog was there, and he looked really familiar, obviously. And he arm wrestled Big Van Vader. And we didn't watch the whole, I don't know if we watched the whole thing or not, but after that, going into like convenience stores and reading magazines,
Yeah.
and I know that I've read a lot of WCW magazines, so obviously when it came to WWF, I was like, holy shit, there's the guy who was in WCW.
Yeah.
And you know, what really sucks is this guy was the WCW champion,
Yes.
the IWGP champion.
Yes.
Why the fuck did you not put the WWE title on him? Why the fuck? Because here's a big guy, like Yokozuna, maybe taller than Yokozuna, who fucking did a good job and was what you want in your fucking company. But you decided, because he's a WCW guy, I'm gonna fuck with him and I'm not gonna put any title on him. He's just gonna fucking get buried. And don't fucking bring up the thing with Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, this guy was fucking money. Sent him, you know what? And then what happens? I'm not sure. And did he go back to WCW? Probably not.
No.
Because he was in WWF for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then he left, and then I don't know, fucking joined Boy Meets World. I don't fucking know. And the fuck. But no, here's the guy that should have had a title in WWF. And
Oh, for sure.
It's big. It's a big fucking slap in the face. I was trying to think, and it was actually Yokozuna and Owen Hart that were the WWF tag team champions. But so yeah, a big waste of time with Big Van Vader. It sucks. It just really sucks. That's all.
Yeah. You know, for Vader being in WWE, he did have some not too bad rivalries. I mean, Kane, Undertaker,
Yokozuna.
I think he might have wrestled Shamrock at one point for a little bit. Just
The train wreck Shawn Michaels.
no, yeah, but just
Yeah.
being just as far as him being a wrestler, you know, he was very, very good. He was definitely not the most athletic man, but I mean, he was another guy that could easily go to the top rope and pull off a moonsault, and, you know, all this other stuff. But one thing that really stuck out in my mind about Vader is just how physical the guy was.
Yeah.
I mean, you got in the ring with him and you were probably in for a world of hurt.
Oh yeah. I mean, you talk about Big Bam Bigelow, a guy who can move like a luchador, but is like twice the size.
Oh, yeah.
Big Van Vader, the biggest, fucking guy you've ever seen. A guy that even squashed Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. So, when I think of that, I think, yeah, you know what? The WWF title should have been on him.
Yeah.
You could have had him feud with anybody, but no. For some reason, the belt had to go to Shawn Michaels. Or whoever the fuck. You know? I mean, 96, what was it? Just fucking Shawn Michaels. And, you know, all these guys, and, you know, well, fuck it. Big Van Vader can't be it, no.
Nah.
And not even one of the Intercontinental title, so, like, once again, you know, you're taking a WCW guy, you put him in WWF, and you fuck him over.
Pretty much.
So, you know, that just, it's, I wonder why I watch your fucking program, Vince.
Nah.
But, whatever.
We'll digress from that. Next on the list is a guy that was a great European wrestler, a great persona in wrestling, had a fairly good physique, and just a guy overall that had a ton of potential, just never really pushed as far enough to be a mainstream champion. Manchester's own British Bulldog.
British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and another wrestler that could have been a Triple Crown champion. And why, again, he was never involved with the WWE title. I mean, this guy with Dynamite Kid being the WWF Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
You got him being Intercontinental Champion. That was awesome. You had him, I think it was, well, yeah, he was Tag Team Champions with fucking Owen Hart. And then, that was it. And it just drives me crazy because there had to be something there that you fucking didn't like, that you couldn't say, well, you know, he could have been the fucking tank. No, you fucking let it go.
Yeah.
Look, there was many feuds that you could have had. You could have had him feud with Shawn Michaels, or feud with The Undertaker, or you had another feud with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
But no, they choose to fucking let him go, and now he's gone, and we're never gonna find out if he fucking had it, if he could come back and try to get a title.
Yeah. You know, him and Dynamite were a spectacular tag team, and then of course you had the infamous match from, was it SummerSlam 92?
Yes.
Wembley Stadium, him and Bret for the IC title. Hell of a match. But yeah, it just seemed like I guess WWE just didn't maybe WWE didn't picture him as their world champion. I mean, yes, he was a tag team champion. Yes, he was an Intercontinental champion. Yes, he was the European champion. I think that's pretty much it. But he only ever made it to the significance of the recognized championships. Trying to think of what's a proper way to put it without downgrading them too much.
Yeah, I know, I can't think of it either. But, like, growing up, I just thought he was a really cool wrestler. I think he had a really good physique.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, one of the wrestlers at the time that brought a dog to the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matilda,
Winston.
yeah.
But, once again, whether he There was a rumor that he was a crackhead. I don't know if that kind of persuaded it. No title thing. I don't fucking know.
I'm not sure if he was a crackhead or he got into pain medication, and that's what ultimately
Well, because there was a rumor.
led to his demise.
Yeah, well, there's a rumor, and you know, you gotta take things with a grain of salt,
Yeah.
especially if it's Bret Hart.
Yeah.
He said that there was a possibility before their match that he had smoked a whole bunch of crack before the SummerSlam '92 match. I don't even know. I mean, that could be a possibility.
It's just speculation.
Yeah.
There's no real way to prove that he did it, or even know or even have any inkling that he did it. It's just talk.
Yeah. So. But yeah, another guy that's gonna be. It's too bad. And you got these British guys like a William Regal, like Wade Barrett, who could have been. Well, yeah, well, those two guys could still maybe have the potential. Maybe, who knows?
I don't really see Regal being champ wrestling again, only because with his role right now as NXT's general manager, he believe he also works as a talent scout and maybe does a little bit of coaching at the WWE Performance Center. So with him being fairly busy and being more of a backstage hand, if you will, I don't see Regal, quote unquote, coming out of retirement and wrestling again. Wade Barrett, I think WWE burnt that bridge, and Barrett's just gonna do his own thing.
You know, like how they say never.
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck, if you can have Goldberg come back and wrestle.
Goldberg and Warrior for a little bit before he died.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, all those guys, but moving off track.
Yeah. Yeah, British Bulldog. Just hell of a wrestler. Fantastic career. Just.
But, you know, differently, you have Harry Smith, who is a fantastic wrestler in New Japan.
Right.
He's done a lot more. Obviously, tag team champions with Tyson Kidd.
Yes.
You know, I had to think of it for a minute. And, you know what? Maybe one day he may think, well, I'll come back.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, possibilities are endless.
You know, it was interesting how when they first had. Oh, shit, what the fuck was his name? And he's a coach now for the head coach for the Performance Center, Matt Bloom. A-Train, Tensai, Big Albert. He was in WWE for a little bit and didn't really end up going too far in WWE, and then he went off to Japan and spent, I don't know, 6, 7 years, whatever it was, in Japan. Had a good run in Japan, and then came back to WWE, only to have, again, a not very significant run in WWE, and then just end up, like I said, head coach in the Performance Center. But, yeah, you could have Harry come back to WWE and wrestle again. Either that, or he probably could be happy with where he is and what he's doing right now and just say, no, I'm good.
That's a good point.
Especially considering the fact that he's partnered with Lance Archer, formerly Lance Wood of TNA Wrestling.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is that team? Their team name? Some weird big name or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Getting off topic here. Back on topic. Next is a guy that was a fairly decent wrestler. Never really a guy that had anything major stand out about him, but just had great rivalries and had a big platform. Just seemed to be the spotlight wasn't thrust upon him until he was close to finishing up his WWE tenure, and he's one of Canada's favorite sons from Orangeville, Ontario, also Toronto, Captain Charisma himself, Christian.
Actually, that's Edge. I believe, if I'm mistaken, I don't know. I looked it up a long time ago. He's from Kitchener, which I love.
It's Canadian anyway.
Whatever. I just brought that in there. Sorry. Yeah, Christian, and I was looking at a video, and it was with Edge and Christian, and they were talking to Randy Orton.
Yes.
It was about a feud they had where Christian was the World Heavyweight Champion, and the next night was told he was going to go up against Randy Orton, and Randy Orton beat him, so Christian never really had much of a fucking chance in the beginning.
Right.
And that really pissed me off, because afterwards Christian turned heel, which I didn't want, and then had the world title for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Beating Randy Orton again, but that was such a shame. But obviously when I watched the video, it was not up to Randy Orton to take the title from Christian.
No, what it ended up being was Christian won the title, and then Vince McMahon wanted Christian to drop the title the next night to Randy. Randy wanted nothing to do with it. Randy's like, no, he's won the championship, he's worked hard for it, he's earned it, let him run with it a little longer. And Vince didn't see it that way, and so they ended up going through with Randy taking the title from Christian, and then of course that led up to them having a fairly long-standing rivalry, and there was also a point where they wanted to have Randy and Christian fight other wrestlers, and Christian was kind of advocated and saying, no, I want to see this thing through with Randy, and Randy wasn't involved in the conversation, but Christian goes, yeah, I'm sure even Randy wants to see this thing through, because they had really wanted to take the rivalry and push it to SummerSlam, and I guess Vince or whatever wanted the rivalry to end sooner, and basically Christian went up to bat for the both of them, and Vince basically seen how important it was to Christian to keep this rivalry going, and how he wanted to end the rivalry with Orton at SummerSlam, and not just kind of throw it up in the air and have that be that. And so they went through with it and had their match at SummerSlam. And kind of one of the big things that was also talked about in this video was, it wasn't just they wrestled each other at pay-per-views or on a SmackDown and that was it. It was, live events several times leading up to the finish of the rivalry come SummerSlam that year, which I think was like 2006, 2007, something like that. But yeah.
No, it was later than that.
2007, 2008, maybe? 2009. I actually think it might have been like 2008, 2009.
Well, I'll look it up. But,
Something like that. Anyways, but yeah. That just goes to show you, like, if you firmly believe in something, stick to your guns about it, and hell, you never know, things might turn out your way. And Randy was not wanting to take the title from Christian so soon, and I let Christian have a run with the championship, but they kind of understood where Vince was coming from, and then essentially Randy taking the title from Christian so soon helped push the rivalry to the next stage, and then have it all culminate at SummerSlam of whatever year it was.
Well, I know. That just leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think it was 2011. But the fact of the matter is, it was still. I mean, and this is the thing with me. There's following the rules, and then there's doing what's right. The fact is, it still could have been fought. You could have defied Vince. You could have got fired, but you could have. Because it really wasn't fucking fair. The fact of the matter is, Christian worked his ass off to get to where that point was. And he did. And then all of a sudden it was taken away. And for what? I don't know. He eventually got the title back. But he was a heel. So, why the fuck would you do something like that? I don't know. Because here's a guy that could have stayed that way and things would have been fine. But no. You have to let somebody that was a little bit more popular shove down your throat.
Yeah.
And, well, it fucking worked out that way, so whatever. Well, you know what? I think it's me that jumped the gun about Randy Orton. Okay, so be it. But the fact of the matter is, it still doesn't really change the fact that I think that Christian should have kept the title longer and see what happens. But at least he was two-time world champion, so really, you can't complain too much.
Yeah. The whole thing with Randy Orton and Christian was that's one of the things that isn't put out there very much by WWE is the fact that if a wrestler doesn't agree with something, generally they'll state their opinion and how they feel and whether or not it's a good idea, and then they'll either change it and have it work for both people are happy, or they'll end up doing it anyway, the way that it's originally planned out to be, and then, go from there. But just the overall fact that Randy went to bat for Christian and said, he should have the championship a little longer. I don't want to take the title from him just yet. Really goes to show the evolvement and the maturity of Randy Orton to do something like that. Because I'm sure if it was the Randy Orton 24 or 25, he would have been like, fuck yeah, I'll take the title from Christian.
And that's probably where I kind of went with that too. It's like I heard so much shit about Randy Orton that, of course, it was okay that he wanted to take the title. See, the rumor that I heard was it wasn't happy with going to SmackDown, so he, Triple H said, okay, well, you're gonna get a title shot and you're gonna become the world champion. Now that I saw the video of the Edge and Christian show, that completely changes everything.
Yeah, for
So-
sure. So with that, we carry on to this one's going to be an interesting one. It's a guy that was a spectacular wrestler. Wrestled for WWE, wrestled for the AWA, wrestled for WCW. Had various different championships, but wasn't really all that overly pushed in WWE, and just fit the mold of a guy that could be a singles wrestler but not your major singles champion. Was a guy from Minnesota, the one and only Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig. And why not? You know, you thought of him as a mid-card. I don't understand. The fact is he was just that. You know, they call him Mr. Perfect for a reason.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue, well, yeah, but you had Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. He never had the WWF title. Well, there you go. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
At least Mr. Perfect had the Intercontinental title.
True.
So, you know, do you think that he should have had? Who knows? Because once he went to WCW, he was an NWO. Not sure what else happened with him.
Yeah.
I just found out recently that he did a stint in TNA
Yes.
before he died. And so this guy was a really cool wrestler and also just a genuine human being,
Yes.
but could have been the WWE champion. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out like that. But the fact is, he should have been. I can't see why not. There's a lot of feuds he had, or could have had, but at least he got the IC title.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the IC title in WWE. In WCW, I think he held the television title. And he started his career in the AWA,
Yeah.
and he made it to the caliber of AWA World Champion, so I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of funny how that works. Because, I mean, you got guys that never been a WWF champion, or a WWE champion, if you will, and they're going over at Impact, and they're heavyweight champion, and it's like, how is it that these people can hold their world title, but that they can't even get a title opportunity in WWE? I'll never fucking understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
But he was one hell of a wrestler, indeed. So,
Next, we have a guy that was very underutilized as a competitor and extremely underutilized as a bodyguard. Never really made it to top tier anything, and it just seemed they had this guy around just cause. Virgil.
yeah. And it's another one of those things where I hear a lot about WWE and having a black wrestler as a top guy. I don't know how true that is, obviously, because you've got other guys from different countries who have been WWE champions, so I can't believe that fully. But you look at Virgil, and yeah, he didn't really strike me as world or WWE champion material. He could have at least held the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
And no, the $1 million belt doesn't mean anything.
No.
But yeah, so this guy was never champion in WWF. Whether he was anything in WCW, I don't know.
No.
I don't fucking know. Oh, really?
He never made it to the caliber of champion anywhere.
Yeah, so there must have been something wrong somewhere with his attitude, with the way. I don't know. I don't fucking know. The guy should have been at least some kind of champion, but once again, he being pushed aside. Another fucking paperweight. You know, him and Big Boss Man, and that's very disappointing. Well, Big Boss Man was at least tag team champion, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
You had a guy like Virgil, you should have fucking used him. You didn't use him. You know what? And it's, I don't know if it's a bad call. I don't know. I can't really tell you, but this guy, I don't know, he just, yeah, I have no words, because, you know, he should have been at least the Intercontinental Champion, maybe once, and that's it.
Yeah.
But, whatever. No, I mean, really, he wasn't that memorable in WWF.
No.
So, maybe he did a good thing. I don't know. But at the time, maybe he could have did something with him.
It just seemed to be that his WWE run was just a joke.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we move on to a guy that really had a good career up until he got into some drug problems, and then his career kind of suffered. But up until that point, a very good wrestler, mid-card champion, but never really got too big of a push as far as something other than what he had. Of course, I'm talking about Miami, Florida. Big Scott Hall.
That bad guy. Yes. Big Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Diamond Stud, or whatever you want to call him. In this guy, it was saying machismo.
Who's in machismo?
It was in machismo.
Yeah, you losing something, pal.
Like a cockroach. And this guy was really good at what he did. Yes, he was a train wreck, obviously.
Yeah.
Towards the end. Thank you, Bischoff.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, again, where you put the IC title on him twice or 3 times, whatever. You didn't happen to notice that he could have been the WWF champion. You could have used him, you know. Why the fuck not? Crazy. It's crazy to me. I really want to... but, you know, he went to WCW. I don't even think he was the world champion.
No.
So, in that case, okay, so there you go. But, it doesn't mean that he shouldn't have been. I mean, he came back in 2002, and still, there was no fucking indication that, oh, we should put a title on him. You know, the guy...
Yeah, he came back in 2002 with Big
Scott
Kev and
Yeah.
Hogan, the NWO thing, which kind of fell short.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I don't even think when he came back in 2002 he was pushed to a championship.
No, it wasn't.
It was just kind of, okay, have the NWO come in and then run with that for a little bit, have Hogan separate from Hall and Nash, and have Hall and Nash kind of do a tag team thing, and then they'll leave, and then have Hogan continue on a run on his own.
Yeah.
Although, of course, there was a point during that time where Big Kev tore his ACL or something like that.
Yeah, just went for a tag and then fell, go boom.
Big man go boom.
Yeah. But, you
Talk
know,
about a fluke injury, though.
oh my god. But, you know, Scott Hall, who, once again, you know, and he had a really good feud with Randy Savage.
Yes.
And that's what I never really understood either, you know, while we're on that subject. Here's a guy that came in, debuted, helped Ric Flair win the championship from Savage for the second time.
Yes.
And that was it. So, you couldn't, well, actually, that wouldn't have worked out either.
Huh.
Because Ric Flair was the champion, so.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, you could have still thrown it in somewhere. I don't know. Back then was weird. And at least you had the Intercontinental title on him. You had him on one of the biggest matches in history at WrestleMania 10. So there's really not that much complaining. It's just, I wish they would have probably put the title on him.
Yeah.
But, whatever. You know, things happen for a reason, but it's just too bad.
Yeah. On we go now to a guy who was a very good wrestler, below your average stature for a wrestler, but was very quick in the ring, agile, high flyer, could do it all in the ring. Got pushed to a world title, but maybe for a reason not quite the reason you would expect. Wrestled in WWE, wrestled in WCW, wrestled in ECW, wrestled in Mexico, and just one of the all-time best little men in the business. Of course, I'm talking about one of San Diego's biggest names, MYSTERIO.
So, I know what you're thinking. So, I'm just gonna say this. So there was a tournament, and Rey Mysterio won. It was for the vacated WWE title. Rey Mysterio was the last person there, and he won. He won the WWE title. And it was only for one night. Okay? You have Vince McMahon come out. Now, if there's a story with that, I'd like to hear it, because, you know, this fucking John Cena, once again, I have to have my title shot now. Can't fucking wait. So, Vince goes, okay, you're gonna face John Cena. John Cena, your new WWF, or WWE champion. The fact is, you fucking screwed over a guy. Why? Because of his height? Granted, when he was the world champion, he didn't have a very good run.
Not really.
So, maybe Vince was like, okay, I don't want this to happen again, so we're gonna give the title to somebody more relevant. Who fucking knows? Rey Mysterio should have had a chance. That's all that you could have did. If you wanted to have him face John Cena for the WWE title, eventually, fine. But, you know, you fucking let it go to your fucking head, and you said, hey, I want that motherfucker to face this motherfucker, because this motherfucker is too small, too fucking weak. So this motherfucker is the guy that everybody loves, and then you let him have it. So, you took this guy, and you know what, like everybody else, and like the fucking guy that everybody fucking loves, and everyone fucking, you throw on people's throats, and you got Rey Mysterio, the guy who fucking earned it. You go, hey, you know what, we're not gonna fucking give you the title. And now, that's what you did to Christian. But at least we know now that Randy Orton didn't want Christian, the job didn't matter. You had John Cena beat Rey Mysterio that fucking night, and fuck you for that, because Rey Mysterio could have fucking deserved it. You want Eddie Guerrero won the title. Eddie Guerrero may be not as big as John Cena, bigger than Rey Mysterio, but you know what? It just goes to show you that you all guys are all fucking biased. Rey Mysterio should have been the fucking champion as long as whoever.
Now that that little rant was done, all I was really meaning is the fact that when Rey initially won the world title, it was at WrestleMania 22 in a triple threat match with Kurt Angle and Randy Orton. My thought on that, or what I was implicating, was the fact that Rey really held the world title only because he was friends with Eddie Guerrero, and Eddie Guerrero had passed away that year, the year before, so they went, oh hey, let's give Rey the world title.
Yeah, fuck Chavo.
Yeah, really. Anyway, we move on to a guy that had a fairly good in-ring career, was a very talented wrestler, but if you really want to get into a discussion about underrated wrestlers, he's probably the most underrated wrestler of all time. I'm talking about the guy from Columbus, Georgia, Marty Jannetty.
Yeah. Well, with the stuff that's going on with him right now, where he wants to fuck his stepdaughter,
Which is ridiculous.
I don't really know if I would have wanted him to be the WWF champion. I mean, he came back, and it was like, okay, we're gonna put the Intercontinental title on you, and then that was it.
Yeah.
He was tag team champions with Al Snow, or Leif, what's his name?
Leif Garrison.
Yeah, so, you know, and
Yeah, they tried to rehash the old Rockers days, and they go, fuck.
so it's unfortunate, but I just, even the stuff that's happening now, even that, before all that, I just never really saw Marty Jannetty as a WWF champion.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say that, but in '93, I never saw Shawn Michaels as the world WWF champion either,
Yeah.
so, you know what, who knows, you know?
But I mean, even if you didn't really see Marty Jannetty as world champion, could have at least put another championship on him, for fuck's sakes.
Well, yeah, but they gave him the Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, I was a tag team
And a
champion.
tag team
He was
champion.
an Intercontinental champion.
What other championships are there at that time?
Well, when he was doing the whole Rocker reunion thing, you had the European title, you had the,
He come back in '97?
no.
Okay, well, that's when I believe the European title came out.
But anyway,
Well, okay.
still, you could have had at least have Marty Jannetty have more significance than what he actually had.
Yeah.
But on to the next. There's a guy that had a hell of a career. Not your atypical wrestler, but a wrestler that could get over with a fan so easily, whether it be a face or a heel. Considerably one of the best talkers in the business, and really was only one champion on a fluke, you could say. It was a guy that was billed from Scotland, but was really Canadian. Of course, I'm talking about the late, great Hot Rod himself,
Oh,
Roddy
yeah.
Piper.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Roddy Piper. I obviously wasn't a fan when he was around in the 80s and 90s. Well, 94, yes. I
Yeah.
remember the bottom line segments that he did.
Yeah.
In fact, he actually did one in Sick Kids, and I'm not sure if it was the time I was there, because I was there that year.
Yeah.
So I got my dad to look all over the building, and it was probably pre-taped anyways, but it
Well,
was
probably.
pretty cool to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a guy that, yeah, he was, tag team champions eventually in 2003 with Ric Flair,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool. That was when they found out he had cancer. But before that, I think in ECW or WCW, he was U.S. champion, I think.
Maybe.
And, it's just, here's a guy that was the Intercontinental champion and for like 2 months, maybe. And you just took the belt off of him right away. So at least he was the Intercontinental champion for a bit. But you could have had him be the WWF champion. Who fucking knows where that could have gone? Because he had the mouth, he had the skill, he had the charisma,
Excuse me.
he had skills, whatever. They could have had him for the WWF championship, and who knows what kind of feuds he would have had.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately they're not gonna happen anymore.
Yeah.
And I was still upset the fact, he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sad, but the fact is, another wasted talent. When I say that, because yeah, not everybody can have a championship, but this guy could have had one, and he had the Intercontinental Championship. He probably had the United States Championship, and before he was in WWF, I don't even fucking know. But the fact of the matter is, he had a great career. It just, there could have been more.
Yeah. And it was probably one of the more shocking wrestler passes.
Yeah, it really bummed me out because, it was a great, genuine guy.
Yeah.
He was a great wrestler. He just had it all.
Yeah.
And it just didn't turn out in his favor.
Yeah. Well, there we go on to a guy that had a somewhat stellar career, although it also kind of fell flat. Could have been different had of the opportunity been there, but I think he would just worked with what he had, and yeah, that's about it. The Mountie.
Oh yeah, the MOUNTIE, Jacques Rougeau. And look at one of these guys that had the luck, had a very good character in the WWE, and maybe I'm biased, but a really good Canadian character. And it's just, he had the Intercontinental Championship and a Tag Team Championship. I just think that he could have had more. He could have been that Triple Crown champion.
Yeah.
Just there was something there that wasn't very well liked. I don't know. Like, I can't really put my finger on it. And then he eventually went and did his own wrestling federation.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure what the deal is. Like, I don't know why he didn't want to come back. He basically had the look. He came back in the late 90s with Pierre in a different version of the Quebecers.
Yeah.
But there was no talk of, hey, let's go single. And it just, it's too bad. But the guy could have, if not the WWF champion, given him the Intercontinental Championship again.
Yeah.
Have it like fucking Chris Jericho, or have a little title reign. How many times can Jacques Rougeau become the champion? Intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
But the fact that you didn't put the WWF title on him is just a shame.
Yeah. And I think it wouldn't be very fitting if you talked about one and not talk about the other. Zach's brother, Ray Rougeau.
I guess. I mean, he's the older brother. He is the guy that apparently started long before they did the Rougeau brothers. When I look at it, like when I started watching wrestling, he was obviously a commentator.
Right.
So, I was not aware at the time that he was in the tag team with his brother.
Yes.
But, yeah, right, he could have easily been a champion too. If not the WWE champion, the Intercontinental champion. You never know. It's just, okay, so, I can't think of what else to say.
It seemed to be when Ray was in WWE, it was when maybe he was winding down his career.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really see, he had a great run with Jacques and as the Rougeaus, the fabulous Rougeau brothers, the All-American boys, but Jacques went on his own, became the Mountie. Ray went on to a different perspective, and that was the commentary business.
Yeah.
Doing French commentary for WWE, and up until recently picked up that role as a French commentator for the WWE network of pay-per-views.
Well, yeah, but at the time, he did it in English. Unless I'm not sure when he started doing the French commentating, but I know he did a lot of the work. I'm not sure where exactly it was, but he did do commentating in English.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Well, I know he did do some interview stuff, and he actually did that in English, but I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I do know that just recently they've had Ray Rougeau and another guy do the commentary on the WWE network for certain pay-per-view events, and it's in French. It may have been in English for the WWE. I'm not sure, but anyway.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue with part 2 very shortly. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk to you later. Bye.